A Harvard program had a problem. Every year, student teams comprised of incredibly talented and intelligent people would melt down so badly that professors would have to intervene and referee to stop them going completely off the rails. In 2024, in this global field program they run, 45 of the 158 teams required faculty intervention. But after making one change, the next year in 2025, that number dropped from 45 to 1. One team that needed faculty intervention. And I'm not going to do all the percentages of how big of a decrease that is, but it's big. That's not down a little bit, that's down almost all the way. And this is the thing I've been screaming about forever, but the Harvard Business Review just published a little article on it, and it's interesting. If you have conflict in your life, which you do, you should care about this. Because this is how they did it, reducing the 45 explosions to 1 explosion, and why we just get conflict wrong in general. Because normally we just think of conflict as a problem. If we're a good team, we're going to work well together, it's going to be pretty seamless, and there won't be a lot of friction. Which obviously isn't true, but we still shoot for that goal. And all of these teams were trying to work together without fighting. But they were still having catastrophic meltdowns. So the Harvard people wanted to see what's up, because that's what Harvard people do. And what they found was interesting. Of course, high-performing teams are usually made up of very intelligent and capable people who all have their own way of dealing with problems. Normally, that's fine. We all have differences, but it's easy to work through them, not a big deal. But when stress gets added, especially a lot of stress, those differences become a problem. Not because the differences are any bigger in magnitude, but because we interpret them much more harshly. One person tries to be efficient by giving very direct and clear feedback, and another person, now very on edge from all the stress, interprets that feedback as a personal attack. Things like that, just a little misinterpretation, or as I like to say, an assumption. And of course the Harvard people wanted to fix this, so the next year they provided some systems and training to the students. Ways to help them understand their own communication and work styles, and also to understand how their teammates might think about things differently. Some of the teams even made their own personalized team playbooks where they outlined different points of potential tension. Ooh, potential tension. Potential tension is a hard thing to say. So maybe they have a meeting, they're making their workbook, and one person says, hey, I know that when I get stressed, I start talking in really short, clipped sentences, and then people think I'm mad. I'm not mad. It's just how I panic. And then people know. They establish a system of how to understand each other so they don't have to rely on those misread intentions when things get stressful. That change, just giving the students some sort of shared system and shared language to understand each other, led the decrease from 45 faculty interventions to 1. Whether it's at work or in your marriage, friction is going to happen. You can have a conversation where one person is thinking, wow, they just keep talking and talking and talking. Are they ever gonna shut up and let us just think about this? And then the other person is sitting there thinking, wow, they aren't saying anything. Don't they care enough to contribute? And that example is really easy because me and my wife are that way, where I process by talking things through and just working through the ideas as they come, stream of consciousness verbally, until I understand them. Whereas she will just think everything through completely internally until she understands it before she'll ever say a word. And when we first got married, that led to some conflict until we had the words to describe it. We had a shared understanding and a shared system, and now I can just tell her, hey, can I process out loud with you for a second? And she knows. She doesn't even really need to say anything. I'm going to talk through some feelings, and she will be there for me, and usually by the end, I will have reached my own answer of what I needed to learn, but I just have to say it out loud to a human. Which, by the way, is also kind of what you end up getting. A lot of my videos are just like, I learned a thing, or I'm doing some research, so I'm gonna put it into a video to practice explaining it and understand it better myself. So thanks. But when we didn't have that shared language and we didn't both know what was going on, it led to huge misunderstandings. And the tempting move here, especially for companies, is to be like, great, Everyone go take a communication styles personality test. But no, don't do that, because personality tests are mostly garbage. The science on all of them is pretty shaky, and when you try to take all of humanity and break it down into 4 colors or 16 boxes or whatever the system is, you're gonna just end up making more assumptions that are likely wrong. And it's okay if you want to do a communication styles test to better understand yourself. Just take it with a grain of salt, recognize that they're a little bit like horoscopes, and try and get the kernels of truth about yourself that you may understand, but do not use them to label other people. Labeling people and putting them in different camps isn't what fixed the Harvard teams. It was teaching people how to establish a shared system of communication, sharing their own quirks and styles, and agreeing on reactions before you're in the pressure cooker environment. People need the life skill, not just another label to slap on each other. Slapping labels everywhere. And you can do this. Whatever team you work with, whether it is at your job or just with your family at home or with roommates, you can just lay out a few things for each other. You can make your own, but some good ones to start with are: 1. This is how I process information. When I'm thinking through a big problem or new information, this is what I tend to do. 2, this is how I communicate when I'm stressed. Some people get angry, they get loud, they get short. Some people shut down, they get quiet, they isolate. It's good to know. And 3, the best way to correct me or rein me back in. Give yourself a safe word or something. For me, it's helpful to tell my wife, hey, I need to process this out loud. And those 4 words, process this out loud. Yeah, 4 words are the cue for her that I don't need her to fix this for me. I just need her to be there while I ramble. When you know these things about each other, you're able to pre-negotiate how you will handle the crisis before there even is a crisis. And if you need help, especially in your workplace, learning how to establish those shared systems and playbooks, feel free to hire me to come fix it for you. It's estimated that miscommunication and conflict like this cost companies about $15,000 per employee per year. And I cost less than that. Now get out there and make the world a better place.